Welcome back to my YouTube channel once more again. I want to present this lesson on the ABO blood group inheritance, meaning that how do we inherit blood groups from our parents, that is ABO. Now, the blood groups is controlled by 3 alleles. Blood groups are controlled by the 3 alleles. So we have the allele A. So the allele A, we also have the allele B and the allele O. So the blood group or the blood groups are controlled by these 3 alleles or so-called genes. Now, the allele A, it leads to the formation of antigen A on the surface of the red blood cells. The allele A leads to the formation of antigen A. So this one produces antigen A on the surface of the red blood cells, while allele B leads to the formation of antigen B on the surface of the red blood cells. But for allele O, it prevents the formation of antigen A and antigen B. So this one prevents the formation of these 2 alleles. So prevent the formation of antigen A and antigen B on the surface of the red blood cells. Now, these alleles, the A, B, and the O, you need to know in which pairs do they found. In which pairs do they found? You need to know the pairs of the blood groups. These 2, A and B, they show incomplete dominance to each other, meaning that when you are to combine the blood group A and blood group B, it's very difficult to tell that or maybe that these 2 genes can express themselves in the offspring. What I mean is that you cannot have antigen A and antigen B being formed, antibodies that is, in the same offsprings. So they show incomplete dominance, but they are dominant to blood group O, which means that O is a recessive, or this becomes the recessive allele. It's a recessive allele. Okay, so O is a recessive, then these 2 are dominant to O. Now let us learn the pairs in which these blood groups occur. We start with the blood group A. Start with blood group A. So start with the group A. Start with the group A. The possible alleles or genes for blood group A. When an individual has blood group A, it is either this person has A. Then blood group A can also occur in form of AO. So when these 2 are the genes for an individual, just have to know that this person has blood group A. We also have blood group B. Blood group B, the possible genes for blood group B is either BB or BO. So when an individual has these 2 genes, then the blood group for this individual is B. But if this person has blood group, blood group O, there is only one possible gene formation. There is only one possible, pair, which is just O and O. Now remember, I said blood group O is a recessive. So when it is found in this, it's not being expressed in an offspring. It is a recessive. This one is dominant. So this is blood group B and that is blood group A. Now usually when representing the blood groups, they use this kind of symbols. So for blood group A, it will be A, or you say A and O. Same applies with B. We say blood group B will be that. Okay, they should go the same length. B. We also have this one where we have B. We we also have O the other side. Then for this one, we only have O. So you can either use this symbol or you can use these, still representing the same blood groups. Now, you should know the combination of these to produce a specific blood groups. For example, if a person who's having blood group A combined with a person having blood group B using these two genotypes, do you think this person can produce a child with the blood group O? So you must be able to represent these on the genetic diagram like we did on the previous video on the sex determination of a child. So let us look, let us represent this information in the genetic diagram. How do we inherit the blood groups? I will give an example of the situation which reflects in one of the examination past papers. So they gave this situation where Mrs. Mumba, you can use any name. This woman, a female, so that is female, Mrs. Mumba had blood group O. So this person has blood group O, then her husband had blood group AB. So this is the male. So the male had blood group AB, the female had blood group O. So now during delivery in a hospital, Mrs. Mumba was given a child. So now the child was given a child with blood group O. Then Mrs. Mumba, with the information which she had on the blood groups and genetics, she sued the hospital that the hospital had given her the wrong child. She believed she could not have a child with blood group O because the husband is AB and the wife is blood group O. Then the question is, you have to explain this situation in form of the genetic diagram, whether Mrs. Mumba can win the case or would lose the case. We know the genotype of the mother, we know the genotype of the father. So we start by writing the phenotype. That's the first thing, always. So phenotype of the parents. So you can either start with a female or male, either way. So phenotype, the female is blood group O. Then the male is blood group AB. The genotype of parents. So we have O is always a recessive, so it can only have one possible existence, only this O. Okay, there should be a small space between them. Then we have the A and B. You have to write gametes, the same symbols, just a bit further from each other for easier multiplication. Then this one is A, B. So you have to represent the multiplication sign here. Here you write diffusion, or you can write meiosis or fertilization. Then you start crossing multiply. As usual, these alleles have to multiply with all the alleles on the other side. So we have this one, the A. Remember, A is dominant over O, which means start by writing A, then O next. Again, O and B. B is dominant over O, so start by writing B, then O. Now we have OA, we have A and O, as well as A, OB, we have B and O. So this is the genotype. The genotype of F1 generation. Okay, I'll write the fusion here. And then the phenotype of offsprings. The phenotype of offsprings, in this case, we have two blood group A and two blood group O. So two blood A and two blood B. So if you analyze this genetic diagram, Mrs. Mumba would win the case. Why? Because the husband has blood group AB and her has blood group O. They would never have a child with blood group O. They would never have a child with blood group O. As you can see from the offsprings here, no one is having blood group O. They all have A or blood group B. So Mrs. Mumba, of course, would win the case. So this is how we inherit, blood groups from our parents. Now, thank you so much for watching. If it's your first time to watch my YouTube channel, please consider to subscribe, like, and share the video. Please note that we are offering online lessons in biology, chemistry, physics, mathematics, English, and RE. Please consider to join our online classes in order for you to have successful and good results at the end of the course. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.